What's up, space pirates? This is your captain, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And now that Ubisoft's stock has plummeted again this week, it is becoming clear that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the most important release in the history of the company.
I've made a huge mistake.
Star Wars Outlaws really sunk Ubisoft. It's official. The company has now lost 80% of its value in the past 5 years, meaning that if you had invested, say, $1,000 in the company back in 2019, your investment would be worth less than $200, leaving many investors to ask,
"Where's my money?"
A major investment firm just penned an open letter asking Ubisoft management to be replaced. The walls are closing in on these bozos who seem bound and determined to embrace controversy with every game's release. This has caused their two major releases this year, Skull and Bones and now Star Wars Outlaws, to flop. And now the pressure is on for Assassin's Creed Shadows to succeed. But with the controversial historical figure Yasuke as part of the game, this is arguably the most controversial game of the year, and it hasn't even been released yet. Imagine being forced to depend on this stinky turd to save your career and company.
That is one big pile of shit.
Whee! What a predicament!
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I keep a list of woke and DEI infected games pinned to my account for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, with all the other releases that have been coming out in the past few weeks, we haven't taken much time to discuss Assassin's Creed Shadows lately, but now seems to be the perfect opportunity given the fact that Ubisoft is in dire straits right now. The shares of Ubisoft dropped another 7% yesterday as calls for the company to go private and fire the management team grew louder. Certain analysts downgraded the stock, meaning that they are no longer advising that people buy it, which is really bad considering that the stock price is so low. Typically, when a company hits a low point like this, you hear optimism from at least some corners of the investment community who think that the stock will rebound, but I am not hearing that at all right now. The chatter is, instead, everyone pointing out that Ubisoft has lost 80% of its value in 5 years and that the company is at its lowest point since 2014. 2 of the 3 major game releases for this year have not gone well, so it is up to Assassin's Creed Shadows to save the day. And it just doesn't look like they can. The IP isn't as strong as it once was. A few months ago, the Assassin's Creed Magic the Gathering set was released, and as an avid Magic player, I can tell you that it was one of the worst received sets in the game in a long time. The Warhammer set sold really well. Doctor Who and Fallout sold well. Heck, the Lord of the Rings set is basically the best-selling set of all time in Magic the Gathering, but boxes and boxes of Assassin's Creed Magic the Gathering set are rotting on the shelves at local game stores because the IP is not as strong as it once was. And to make matters worse, I know someone that runs 9 retail stores which sell video games, and in those 9 stores there have only been 2 pre-orders for Assassin's Creed Shadows thus far. Now, of course, it's fair to point out that this is only anecdotal evidence, but the sales in these stores of Star Wars Outlaws tracked perfectly with the sluggish sales of that game overall. It's still possible that these numbers pick up over the next 8 weeks before Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, but according to this person that runs these stores, it sounds as though the game is actually tracking well behind Star Wars Outlaws. In any event, I have been banging this drum for months now, talking about how Ubisoft is in deep trouble, talking about how they reported losses last year of almost €500 million, and this year they needed some major wins with these 3 big titles, and if they didn't get those wins, they were going to have to lay off a lot of people, and maybe even sell off to a larger fish like Microsoft or something. They haven't heeded the warnings of the gamers. Instead of avoiding controversy like a sane company would do, they have completely embraced it, raising prices, releasing unfinished games, telling us to get comfortable not owning their games, and embracing woke shit in their titles. Star Wars Outlaws should have, for example, fixed the main character's face, and Assassin's Creed Shadows should not have made Yasuke one of the main characters. Even if you personally enjoy the idea of Yasuke being in the game, you have to admit this is a controversy that Ubisoft can scarcely afford. I'm sure that a few years ago, when they made this decision, they thought they were being brilliant. But a lot has changed since then. The world has pushed back against this sort of social messaging, particularly in video games. This year has been an absolute bloodbath in the industry for titles that embrace that crap, starting with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I don't think that's going to change. But Ubisoft requires that Assassin's Creed Shadows is a smash hit, or they may cease to exist as we know them right now. They are really banking on that modern audience to show up and save the day. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Ubisoft in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.